Well, hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Michael Cylkowski. I'm going to be a senior this upcoming year at Michigan State. I'm a student pursuing a degree in International Relations through the James Madison College. It's bittersweet that this is kind of my last hurrah, but I'm excited to, get my academics over with and start my career, hopefully in the field of advancement. My capstone project this summer focused on building on the programming that I worked on with Dan DiMaggio. Dan DiMaggio is the Director of Student Engagement, and with him I have been working on growing our international student engagement programming and getting our international students more engaged with Michigan State so they don't just come here for a degree, they also have an experience as well. And with Claire Brender over in the Alumni Association, Claire is the Director of International Alumni Engagement and Discovery. With her, I have built on creating a bridging communication that helps international students and their relationship with international alumni. So we talk about the Global Spartan Network being made up of 500,000 living alumni around the world. Not many people know that 50,000 of those alumni are international alumni, and 25,000 of those international alumni actually come from our Asian countries. So China, Japan, Korea, in that region of the world. We have 25 active clubs, which is really great.
I want to make,
yes.
Sorry.
No.
I just want to make sure that the 50,000 international, they're alums who have come from another country to come here, not alums who live abroad, right? Make sure they came from overseas to come here.
Correct. Yes. No. Yeah. If you have any questions during the presentation, please let me know. So these are some kind of some metrics that put in our international community into perspective and what I got to work on with Claire this upcoming summer.
More than 75 Spartan contacts.
So we have that actually is, I forgot to change that with our conversation with Claire. We have 100 alumni contacts around the world that are...
That's one per country.
Yeah.
That's one per country besides the 25 active clubs. We actually have about 230 clubs and contacts all together in different countries. So we have representation that's officially known to us in 77 countries. So there's an overlap there, yeah, 77.
So the goal and purpose that Claire and I, our project we wanted to do is, again, maximize connectivity between our international students and alumni. We wanted to focus on 4 main priorities that align with what university advancement the Alumni Association are really pushing this upcoming year. And those include philanthropy, community service and outreach, professional and career development, and diversity and inclusion. And so this communication will highlight what our international students and alumni are doing and how they're championing in those areas. So the goals, we wanted to create a marketing and communication strategy that we want to continue to pursue this upcoming year that highlights those initiatives. We also want to start planting the seeds of service and philanthropy within the minds of our international community. We talk about service and philanthropy as a domestic kind of initiative because it's easy. But when we're talking about the international community, you have to take a different approach. And so that's where we're trying to focus, is we're trying to get our international students and alumni into the idea of giving your time and talent first, and then later on giving in a different capacity. We also incorporating the metrics of qualitative and quantitative data to really showcase the impact that these people are doing around the world. So the project was in 5 different phases. The first phase was really what I did with Dan DiMaggio this past spring semester. What I did was I went out as kind of the ambassador to our international students, created relationships, got to know the groups, seeing what kind of programming that they were already doing, and seeing how what they were already doing aligned with the MSU alumni initiatives. Phase 2 was the start of the project. So this is where I was collecting the qualitative and quantitative data from our alumni, from students and alumni in those 4 different categories, and I worked on that with Claire. The third phase, we reached out to our alumni contacts and leaders around the world to update information. Come September 1st, our previous director of marketing, Maria Gigi, and our communications team are getting ready to overhaul our alumni website. And so we wanted to make sure that we had updated information that people can get access to if they want to reach out and get involved with alumni activity around the world. Phase 4 is the actual communication piece. We built this communication piece in IA modules, and we're going to segment and send them out based on region. So we're going to pilot it with Europe, and then it'll go out to Latin America, Asia, Africa, Oceania, and Australia, just so we're able to highlight students and alumni from those regions and give those people a sense of commonality within the communication. The phase 5 is going to be this upcoming year. So all this communication will really be setting up us this upcoming year for success in regards to service and philanthropy. We really want to elevate the number of participants that we have, especially in our Spartans Will Global Day of Service in April. And we really want to push Giving Tuesday this upcoming November within the international community. So the prioritized partnerships that I'm working with in regards to the international students, we have 5 that we have identified, Dan, Claire, and I, around the world that are in key markets that Claire works on at the alumni level. So we have Brazuca from Brazil, we have the Indian Student Organization from India, we have Malaysian Student Organization from Malaysia, we have many Chinese student organizations on campus, but I saw potential in the China Entrepreneur Network, which really tap into that professional development and career development aspect of the programming, and then from Korea, the Korean Student Association. So the final project, again, will highlight our philanthropy initiatives this upcoming year in service. Will be segmented by region, and we really want to just begin to highlight the extraordinary things our international students and alumni are doing. And this is going to be an ongoing thing, and something that we're going to continue to build on this upcoming year. And I've been very privileged to work with such great people, Daniel Mathis, Dan DiMaggio, and Claire Brender, who are great advocates and leaders in this area. So I couldn't do it without them, so thank you. Oh, so yeah, questions.
Can I address the question numbers since it came up? So when we looked at the list that we inherited in 2009, it was about 240 clubs and contacts. And we went through it and had a student poll, what are the major countries based on population in different countries in the world where we know we want to be represented. And that list is around 85 countries. We have club representatives in 77 countries, and we have active clubs in 25. So that's the countries number. And then we have those additional contacts. There's always pressure to keep things clean and simple. So we have at least 10 different contacts for China, but we're there in the key cities, Beijing, China. So that's an example of a market where we have multiple contacts. So obviously we have overlap in some of these countries. And to address Bob Thomas's question, we know the data are actually higher than 50,000, but because alumni records, it's expensive to maintain them, they get lost, things like that. 50,000 is a current estimate that was based on what we knew coming in, but we actually have good information across campus that there are alumni who never get coded in advance because they're recruited directly through the colleges. They don't go through admissions or the registrar's office. They actually come directly through the colleges. So there are lots of visiting scholars the number may be closer to 80 or 100,000. But, and Bob Thomas's question about who that represents, the number 50,000 is representing people who study here from abroad and then either went home or may have landed in the U.S. And then we have at least 3,000 expat alumni. So I think the slide said 2,500, which was, you know, that's a number that's not very accurately targeted right now. But
When you're sending this mass email to anyone in any of these regions that you happen to have an email for.
Correct, yeah, so we're,
That's not 75,000.
no, unfortunately, it's probably between 10 and 15% of our alumni records. So yeah, yeah. But what we do know is that when I-modules is used with international alumni, it's a very good way of capturing employment data and things like that. So we're getting ready to launch the first I-modules international community this fall. And we did test pilot international registration using I-modules, and the ADR team worked with us on a couple of events. We found that we got very good data back from that, so we're expecting the data to improve. And then that's, in addition to that, we're circulating that message via social media, so everything's clickable and circulatable. Yeah. So, and we need help from the colleges on this, and that's going to be a big part of it too.
yes,
What was your one aha in this?
my one aha. I think that working with so much on the student level this past year, I never got that interaction with alumni because that's Claire's field. And so going into this internship and being able to work with that aspect, it gives you a different perspective. And there's lots of commonality between the students and alumni, and there's lots behind that's going on that they're doing on their own, which is great, but we want to continue to grow that. So that was my big aha, is there's so much happening that we don't know about that we would love to showcase, we would love to grow, and I think that hopefully this is a foundational stone in where we want to take international programming in the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, so one last thing, Deanna has these printouts of like my project in detail, and on the back is a sample of the communication that we built in iModules with the help of Daniel Mathis. Thank you. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions afterward. Thank you.